Welcome back to yet another interesting session with B-GHUD. I'm Elizabeth Annie-Sleva, and today here we are to discuss some phrases that we come across in IELTS across the modules. And to discuss these phrases with us, I have here Mr. Ibrahim Burgess.
Hello, namaskaram.
Who was in London for 45 years, and therein he worked as a barrister. Right, so shall we move on then?
Please do.
Right. So the next set of words, it says, first one, multifaceted aspects of education. What do you have to say about that, sir?
Well, it is indeed. The formal education that we receive is multifaceted. But I don't like to consider the formal form of education as the complete lot of education as such. There are many things outside the so-called education that is just as much educative as a syllabus. And you must understand that what you are being taught is what the government intends you to learn. In other words, to comply with their methodology of thinking. This is how, for example, we got badly damaged when the English introduced texts into our system, especially in history and other matters that actually put us down as a people. And not only that, the same texts were also encouraged in their own countries and the countries where their people were living. So much so that it added up and multiplied the prejudice and their ignorance about us. But sadly, in the course of it, we also fallen prey to that difficulty. Now, I understand that the present government is going to change the methodology of teaching, and the first 5 years we will be taught our mother tongue, which is excellent, okay? And Hindi is available, as we are seeing in places where they were opposed to Hindi. More and more people are actually learning Hindi. In my experience, having gone to Tamil Nadu, the taxi drivers immediately speak to me in Hindi. For some strange reason, they think that I am from the north of India. Little do they know that I understand a bit of Tamil, and I immediately reply back in Tamil. And then immediately their bonhomie returns, and he keeps talking like that. At the same time, if you spoke in Hindi, he will speak in Hindi, and he knows Hindi. He's been to other parts of the country. There has been a lot of movement in our country, and that has opened the eyes of people, opened the minds of people, opened them to a different scenario of life and the way of looking into life. And so that has been the kind of education that you have. Now you will see that one of the things that has been introduced recently is that traveling is considered education. Sport is considered education. Why it was not included or given such importance is beyond belief. It is the small-mindedness, the utterly ignorant parameters within which some of our thinkers, some of our senior politicians were operating that caused these difficulties and caused many of us to believe in the superiority of other people and following their fashion, following their styles, speaking their language, which is all very, 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 very expensive for us. I'm not saying that we shouldn't learn their language. I'm making that absolutely clear. It's a must. It is necessary for us today, okay? In time to come, it may be another matter altogether. But education is not confined to language, not confined to chemistry and biology. It is actually a wider or more holistic approach towards life, understanding, for example, emotion, understanding, for example, relationships, understanding, for example, the depth of friendship, understanding, for example, the connection of relatives. These are all part of the education that we need to actually learn, okay? And what our parents teach us also, the education from that is, yes, these are the parameters that they worked under, but we have to use our discrimination to see what is more suitable to us. Because we are, from the time the umbilical cord is cut, we are a separate human being. Okay? We start crying in a certain manner so that the mother understands that language and either feeds you or bathes you or cleans you or whatever. We are, from that time onwards, trying to survive. And we use whatever methods we can in order to survive. So education should be a method of development into studying life, acquiring knowledge, so that you can acquire wisdom. If you just think that reading and going to classes and taking things down by heart is education, I'm sorry, the percentage of education in Kerala is not 100%. It is somewhere like -5. Okay, that is the quality that sadly that we are experiencing. All right. I'm sorry to be so negative, but I'm speaking the feeling that I have in my mind, and tied up with an earlier subject, it is part of the emotion that I am expressing.
Right. You're right, sir. Thank you so much for
No
that.
doubt.
So you're a man of law. So
Really?
So the next one might interest you. Discrimination in different fields. What do you have to say?
Well, you see, discrimination is part and parcel of life in the sense that we have to make choices. When you make choices, there is discrimination. If there is a table laid out by, let's say, a host who has invited us for a meal, they will spread out what they think is going to be liked by you. Now, it is not the case that you're going to like everything. You use your discrimination, okay, and select what you know is suitable for you. Now, discrimination is also used as a weapon, where religion is being used and abused as a weapon of discrimination, where color is being used for as a weapon, as an armament of discrimination, and poverty, status, all these things, class, all these things are being used as elements of discrimination or a justification for discrimination. Fundamentally, they are all flawed because none of them really compare with the nature through which we are born, where the parents decide to have a child. It is not your decision. You're not even in the remotest part of their backlid, their eyes backlid. But they will want to express their love to each other, and they have a child. That itself is a discrimination because you've decided to have something that that person coming out does not have a choice over. All right? But it is your choice, and so therefore your duty to make sure that throughout your life you're able to look after them. Now, when it comes to color or job descriptions or job discrimination or class discrimination, it is man-made. Or religious discrimination, it is man-made. Sadly, we idiots cannot see our head from our toes, which may be a reality considering where our eyes are. But having said that, we are stupid enough to think that there are reasons why we should be considered different. Whether they're a rich man, a white man, a black man, a green man, or a yellow man, or whatever, whether you belong to any form of religion whatsoever, you're all born and seeking a path to something that is beyond you, that you do not know about, but you imagine in your mind and give yourself hope. They haven't told you that anybody has found that ideal path. Some people have gone a long way and claim it, yes. But having found that way or having looked up towards where it's supposed to be, all I can experience or all I experience is people staying down on earth and not rising up or floating up like angels or something like that, because that is not the truth that I can reason myself with. It is not a fact that I can say exists. But then again, when you come into spirit, who knows? It might be just that, okay? So, as far as I'm concerned, the discrimination is man-made, primarily to select what is suitable for man's existence, or man's power, or man's purpose, and it has very debilitating effects on society where it is actually used in a negative manner, and it causes deep hurt and deep depth of feeling and hatred, sometimes vengeance. It generates all kinds of emotions. Today, one of the two things that generate the maximum amount of emotions, as far as I can make out, is religion and race. And very often one can say with race that it's the feeling that they are superior and that is their only claim to ability. It is not. Okay? Black is as beautiful as any other color. White gets dirty very quickly. It's also beautiful, okay? But it gets dirty very quickly. So, I would suggest that you take a balanced view, okay? And accept only what is suitable to you. Those who are discriminatory against people like you or against your belief system, avoid them, okay? And so what they say will just hit empty walls. It won't resonate in your mind. It won't affect you. But if it affects you, do try and express it in a more constructive way rather than react in a destructive manner. Okay? I think that's it.
Yes, that was really nice. I know that it will definitely be helpful for a lot of people hearing you speak about it.
Thank you very much.